Feels like I've been here ages, but it's only halfway through week 2. So I still don't have much work to do. Since lectures today, I've done some supervision work for computation theory, work on register machines. Then I've had another really easy afternoon. This has been a good term so far. I've been doing some video editing. Remember that I've got a pack of Basics chocolate mousses in the fridge which go out of date today. I'll eat a few of those. These are really nice and really cheap. I love Sainsbury's Basics stuff. It's Tuesday, it's 8:30. One of my group project team members wanted to meet early today, which is why I'm going to the lab for 9 o'clock. It's much busier at this time. I'm usually still in bed now. Hopefully going early will be worth it and we can make some good progress. And hopefully I won't have to write much today because I've sliced my finger. Turns out we've got a dangerous bathroom window. After this 3-hour session with my group, I've got a compiler construction lecture, and then I'm going back to Queen's for a supervision with my DOS, which one is it? Databases, which will only be 1 hour this week, not like our 4-hour supervision with him last week. Then I think I'm done for the day. After that, I have some compiler construction supervision work, but that's not due in until next Wednesday, so there's no rush for that. Just been looking at the buttery menu for this week, and look, they've got gravy tonight. Gravy's not very popular in the south. I'm used to having gravy on everything. This week's menu is mostly okay. I think Friday is the worst. Might skip that one. Sunday, they've got 2 nice things on at the same time. Everything needs to be soaked in gravy. I'm up early again, 2 days in a row. Today I have the group supervision thing, so I have to be at the lab for 9 o'clock. I'm going to cycle there. It's really dark this morning. I don't know where the sun's gone. It's raining as well. But after that, I've got 3 lectures, and then nothing this afternoon, but I need to go to Sainsbury's and do some laundry. And then tonight is the group meeting for all the comskis here at Queen's. So plenty of stuff to do today. I'm going to get going because I'm almost late already. Supervision started 4 minutes ago. Not too late.
Expression thing. Okay, so rolling on, we now need to do this conversion to IR1.
An alphabet of tape symbols, we're going to have an alphabet of states, as it were.
Can I get double-sided? Yes, isn't that nice?
Email me.
Where does it say that? This? No, do I just press
Just
start? Maybe. That looks good.
It's a good thing they don't have threader in this device.
Good, we're not late.
With a machine, maybe it self-elects. By the way, the election of a master among a quorum of machines.
Want to arrive at something like an entity.
My finger's all bruised today. It's pretty horrible. And I had some stuff to do written on my hand. I probably shouldn't have used ink that you can rub out. It's time for the Komsky meeting. This week, one of the third years, every week one of the third years talks about their Part 2 project. Part 2 is the part of the course that you do in third year. The numbers are just a bit weird like that. This week, the project the guy's talking about is some optical music recognition software that he's working on. I forgot all about the meeting actually. I was just ready to go for dinner. I'm not going to the formal afterwards this week. The food doesn't look very good, so I'll find something nicer to eat. So we're going spoons again for dinner today. You can get 1 picture for £6.59, or you can pay more and get 2 for £14. That's a terrible deal. Gone for scampi this time.
I don't know, Jake.
Look at these cocktails that Andy's made us.
It's good.
Yeah, it is good. Good morning. I have to be at the lab for 9 again today, 3rd day in a row. Well, I'm supposed to be at the lab for 9, but it's already 8:58, so that's not actually going to happen. Then I'm there until 6 o'clock today because I have a supervision at 5. It's a horrible time for supervision. It means I just have to wait there all day because I have a prologue ticking session at about 2 o'clock, so I never have a big enough gap to come back here. So yeah, about 2.5 hours with my group project team, 5 minutes getting my prologue assessed exercise ticked, 1 lecture and 1 supervision. I could do with a pair of goggles for cycling in this weather. Everyone's rushing to get lecture notes. Time to get my prologue tick. It's dark and it's raining and this ride home is going to be horrible, but the supervision was quite good and I've got my tick, so it's not all bad. Today's week 3, if I haven't mentioned earlier, and I haven't been out this term yet. Student life for most people involves a lot of clubbing, but not so much at Cambridge. The nightlife is not very good, and I have friends who don't like to go clubbing. I'm going out tonight, but I'm pre-drinking by myself. So I found someone to pre-drink with. Now we're heading out. We're coming to the ADC bar. I've never been here before, but it's quite nice. Look at the red cups, it's like an American movie. I've finally been to a club. It's been pretty fun. I'm by myself again in the middle of town. This is a good thing about Cambridge. It's pretty small if you live in the centre. And it's really safe as well, so I can just wander around by myself. And it's fine. I had a really good night last night, and I think I'm even going to make my first lecture at 10 o'clock. Me and my group project team also have our first meeting with our client today. I have no idea what to expect from that. There's a guy behind me videoing things. Rival vlog. It's probably not really. Might just be taking a picture. I'm going to be about 5 minutes early. Hopefully I've got time to have breakfast. I've had the meeting with the client. It wasn't what I expected at all, but I'm going to tell you more about that when I get back to college because the weather is horrible. Which you could see from the guy next to me nearly getting blown away with his umbrella. So for these group projects, everybody gets a real client, and some people do. They get a person who is from a real company and the project is a real thing, and the company just kind of uses the whole group project thing as free software development. Now our client is of course a real person, but the whole project is not as real. So we just got some guy from Madingley Hall where the garden is role-playing this part. So we saw both sides of him. We saw the client side where he was saying, I want this system to let music be generated by people walking around in this garden, and I want this feature and this feature and this feature, and I want it to be done this quickly. And then we saw the other side where it was like, okay, so you should have pitched it to me like this instead, and this is how to do things better. And I think that was good because he could stop being this client and step back and then give us some genuine advice. He told us that when we're pitching an idea to someone, we should try to tell a story because that always gets people's attention more and it gets them onto your side. He also recommended a TED talk to us called Start With Why. I watched it and it's actually really good, so I recommend that to you as well. One last thing before I end this video, I want to talk to you again about all of the questions you lot ask me, and you do ask me a lot. Please try to be reasonable with what you ask. People ask me things like, Jake, which college should I apply to? I don't know. There are 30 colleges at Cambridge, and I only know about one of them, in detail, Queen's of course, so I can't tell you which one is the best. There isn't really a best one anyway, it depends on what you want and what you'd enjoy. It's like me asking you which house in your street has the nicest furniture. That's just not something you could possibly know. Similarly, I don't know which subject you should apply for at university. Stop asking me which is better between computer science and engineering. That is a popular one I get asked. Neither is better, they're both good subjects. I chose computer science, so obviously that is my favourite between Comsci and whatever other choice you give me. But it's a decision that you have to make. I can answer questions about computer science, but I can't tell you which subject to do. I also can't tell you which laptop you should buy. I have a Mac, and I'm not planning to upgrade anytime soon, so I don't really know what's currently the best, and I don't know what's the best for you. This is another personal thing. As for operating systems, Windows versus OS X for computer science, it doesn't matter really. I use OS X for everything at Cambridge. I've been put at no disadvantage because of that. And similarly, I've had no advantage over Windows users because of having a Mac, so just go with the operating system that you prefer. I use some of Apple's software like Final Cut and Logic, and I just generally prefer OS X, so I'm happy with that one. If you prefer Windows, then stick with Windows. There's no need to buy a Mac for computer science, and a Mac is also fine for computer science if that's what you want. Linux is okay as well. I don't think any universities would force you to use software that was platform specific. The course at Cambridge certainly doesn't. Any operating system is fine. If you're applying to a course at another university, just check with them. And finally, for all of you wanting to apply to Cambridge from other countries, I'm afraid I don't know much about the application process for people who aren't from the UK. So if you have questions about qualifications and which ones you need and which will be accepted, send your questions to the admissions department because I won't be able to offer you much advice if they're not about A-levels. So I'll keep trying to answer as many questions as I can, but please realise that some of the things you ask me are just impossible for me to answer. So with that in mind, thanks for watching. After missing his bus and getting a later one, which you might have been kicked off at any point between home and Bath, and getting to Bristol with no power in his phone.
And no idea where the train station is.
Yeah, he didn't know where the train station was, he just guessed the direction of it.